Okay, I'm quickly going to give you a rig rundown of my C70. And that is because I like the way it's set up now. And I kind of default to this configuration most of the time. So I think it might give some of you some ideas. So, regular C70, nothing really fancy going on here. I have a lot of the buttons mapped to various things. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. But very simply, I have the small rig top handle and like top cheese plate thingy, as well as the one that goes on the bottom here. It's like it comes in a pack. And the nice thing about the bottom plate is that it moves the tripod screw holes, so they're in a normal place, because on the C70 they're in a goofy place. So that's nice. And then on that I have, who makes this one? I don't know who makes this one. Small rig. Rail block, right? So the two screws keep it from moving around, and the rail block holds the handle here, because I hold it like this, right? So it's nice and compact, as well as this. Technically, this is a shoulder pad, but I have it as a chest plate. I guess this whole thing is small rig. This is a small rig rig rundown. Small rig, give me money. So it's a shoulder pad, but I have it mounted vertically so I can press it against my chest, and that's very nice. And then on the inside of the rig, or excuse me, the pad, I have a V-mount plate, which you can sort of, good heavens, this is awkward. There you go. See it down there? So that holds the V-lock, which is then just piped into the C70. And this 100 watt, 99 watt V-lock basically runs the camera all day. I have found that I only need one battery. That could change if I shoot a very long video, but so far only needed one battery, which is very nice. I also have the small rig microphone mount here, and I like this. It's a little bouncy. Not it has like a shock. It's not a hard mount. Initially I thought it was a hard mount, but it's actually got some rubber gaskets there that keep it from getting too much noise in it. And I like it's because it's small. The big rubber bandy ones are annoying, and yeah, so I just like that. It's nice and small, holds the microphone pretty steady. And on there is an SE7 from SE Electronics. You can use any mic. On my boom, normally I have a KM185 from Neumann most of the time. But the SE7 is just a great little mic. So this, I don't tend to use this audio. Maybe for like an event or something, it would make sense. But that's just so that the on-camera mic is like stellar versus okay. You know, the Rode like on-camera mics with the 3.5 millimeter jack that you'd normally put on a DSLR, they're okay, but why not just go all in, you know? And, you know, maybe you do put a, like a Sennheiser, the 416 on there, if you are going to be using that audio, because it's got a little more reach and a little more rejection. But anyway, I'm not a monitor guy. I've never really been a monitor guy. I just use the one that came with the camera. So this flips out here, and I just have this, stand up. I have it like this, right? And I just look down, which is fine for me. If you were doing this all day, your neck might get a little, so you could put, there's another, you could put a monitor up there in that cold shoe. And this is just a short little cable there. I've also got another one of these rail blocks that's holding the chest pad. And I will put a wireless transmitter, like a Teradek there, if necessary. I actually have a Hollyland 300S. It's an older one. So that slots right in front of the battery. So you just move the whole rig forward a little bit, so there's room for that. And that the reason I like the Hollyland is because you can then hand out iPads or just use a client's iPad or whatever, and that just looks nice. It's cheaper because most people have iPads these days in the creative field. So instead of having to get monitors, now your distance takes a hit. I'm pretty sure, but for the type of stuff I do, I'm not doing huge long. Usually it's a client like right over your shoulder almost. But I've seen you can get a few 100 feet and it's fine. So, but I don't have it in here right now because I wasn't using that. And that's pretty much the whole rig. I also have just this random adapter, right? So a rail would go there, but this is literally just so that when I put this on the flat, right, it stays flat instead of turning over. So there's nothing goes here. This is just for stability. And then I will say I have the Canon regular RF to EF so it's not a speed booster, with the little rotatey control dial. And I really, really like that because it gives you one more thing right next to your hand that can control settings. So I have that set to ISO, so I can just ratchet through the ISO very quickly if I need to, because I don't really want to mess with the f-stop unless I need to change my depth of field. Have a little tip for people who shoot B-roll of small things or close-ups, macro stuff. Raise your f-stop. Stop shooting B-roll at like f1.4. Shoot it like 5.6, because when things are very close, obviously your depth of field gets shallower. When your focus is closer to the lens, the depth of field gets shallower. So by shooting, even 2.8 of something small and close, you can't see what we're looking at. Shoot it at like a 4 or 5.6. Let us see the thing. Just trust me, and let it be sharp. Let it be in focus. It's not impressive to be super, super shallow on a tiny close thing, right? Anyway, and the two lenses that I switch around on are the Tamron 24-70, which I chose because the vibration control, like all the 24-70s, that the Canon, the Sigma, probably the Nikon, I can't remember, the Tamron, they're all basically optically the same. In my research, I just found that the Tamron had slightly better image stabilization, vibration control, so I use that. But I'll switch between the Tamron 24-70 and obviously the Sigma 18-35 when different focal lengths are needed, or in this case, when stabilization is needed. Hello, text message. And that's kind of the whole rig. I very much enjoy the way this is set up. This is kind of how I used to run my C100 for many years, just kind of updated and modernized for the new age. But yeah, so there you go. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of maybe something to think about. Feel free to copy it. And if you don't give me credit, what am I going to do? So that's it. There's your little rig rundown of the Canon C70, which I love. Bye-bye.